is 100% efficient. So nationwide we proved that the Hummingbird motor, one in electrical, more than that in from permanent magnets, 5 units out. We proved that nationwide. Then we came with the generator and we proved it was a 100% efficient generator. So 100% efficient generator. Neither one of these things have ever been done by anyone else officially before. We've not taken them to test labs. We don't intend to. We took them to the people. We did it in open conferences, public hearings, because it's very difficult for anybody to do any dirty tricks in that setting. That's the reason why we chose that venue. And we are signing people up now to help us by coming and witnessing. The Wright brothers flew for the very first time at Kitty Hawk because the President of the United States, ordered the Kitty Hawk affair, and the people came to that, and because of the public awareness, it happened. We do not believe that we can get a fair shake with universities and scientists coming and checking our stuff out. We wish to do all of our demonstrations live before large segments of the public, and so we are enlisting the public to get involved with us. Their reward is for them coming out and helping us. We will then give them all their power for free. You can check it out. Check out the promotional end of this if you wish to. But we demonstrated. Now there's also another videotape where we had a private conference with our dealers. We put the Hummingbird motor, this is a 50 horsepower Hummingbird motor, onto the generator, but we did not turn it on. We did this for a photo op that has never been run together. But you will see some footage of the generator going, and you'll see that it's a low RPM electric generator. You'll be shocked by what you see there. The faster it goes, the more electricity it produces. You'll see some footage on that. You'll also see how lightweight and small in comparison to a 40 horsepower motor this is. I pick it up with my own arms like this. You can't do that with a 50 horsepower motor. You need a crane to lift a 50 horsepower motor. You'll see that footage in here to make that illustration. You'll also see that this is a variable speed. You can go faster or slower with this. You'll see that with a foot feed, where you can go faster or slower. And obviously you probably came to the conclusion that maybe you could even use something like this to drive a car. And on this footage at the end of this videotape, you're going to see we have a 150 horsepower electric motor that is set to go in a car as an engine for a car that will run on the same drivetrain. And you would go faster or slower with the foot feed. You'll also see how that can be controlled. This Hummingbird process can be controlled with a foot feed. So you got some interesting things to see. You also will not see on this tape another technology that we do have. It's the subject of another videotape itself, and that is a technology called the tornado engine. This right here is a tornado engine. It weighs 175 pounds. It's smaller than a Volkswagen engine. It creates a tornado on the inside, uses the turbine blades to get incredible amounts of torque right out here on the shaft. As a matter of fact, this baby right here, 175 pounds, you won't believe this, but I'll tell you anyway, will produce 5,000 horsepower using nothing but water vapors. It rips the molecules out of water vapors and burns them. It's called the tornado engine. This is something that we have in the back room that we intend maybe at some later date to pull out for commercial applications for electricity. We can make that little Hummingbird, or that little Sundance generator, instead of 32 inches square, we can make it 8 feet by 8 feet. If we did that, it would produce 500 kilowatts of electricity, 500. And so it would be a half a megawatt, so 1/2 a million watts per hour. So half a megawatt and this right here would drive it. So we could get enough power from this using water vapors to power a 0.5 megawatt. Imagine one of these on one side, an 8-foot by 8-foot block generator in the middle, another 8-foot by 8-foot block generator, and another one of these tornadoes on the other end. Tornado, generator, generator, tornado. That whole package would fit on an 8-foot box trailer, and it would be a whole megawatt of electricity. So if you think what you've heard so far is crazy, enjoy yourself, watch the videotapes. Please take the time, see it for yourself, and understand that every piece of footage that you are looking at was seen by thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people all across the United States in multiple settings in every state of the country pretty much, with scientists being invited with full-page challenges to come and measure. And so, bon appetit. I'll let you watch the videotapes and you can see the flexibility of this generator. It is a completely serviceable generator. Now, also when he takes this out, what he'll have to do, we don't have these with the little finger screws on them. And so he's going to use a wrench to take them out, because for the show here, this is our prototype model, and for a finished product, we'd have it in there where you just pop them in and pop them out. But for now, we'll just unscrew it, and so he'll unscrew it for you as we're running, and he'll take it out, you can see it, and it's still producing electricity, then he'll pop it right back in again for you and show you it's the most serviceable generator that's ever been invented in the history of the world. Easily repaired as we operate. You ready to go? Okay, they're going to run it at low RPM. Now we've got an RPM gauge here too. Here we have an RPM gauge, and while he's doing this, you can see the RPMs. It'll be running at probably about 300 or 400 RPMs. Is that about all we can go? It's about 300-400 RPMs. It'll still be making electricity. When is the last time you saw a generator that's making electricity at 300 RPMs? 1600, 1800, 3600, but not 300. And so you'll see that's very unique, because this generator will make electricity at the low end and the high end. The higher you take it, the more it makes. The lower you take it, the less it makes. And so it'll be lighting some lights with only 300 RPMs. And that's a very, very, very unique demonstration. Okay, ready? Calibrated there. 380. We had a 380. What do you got on top of here? 390. Okay. So it'll get smoothed out. There you go. 380. You get a reading every once in a while. It's lighting the lights now at 380 RPM. Just at these low RPMs, it just reads sporadically. 377. Making light. He's now removing one of the modules. So as he takes the module out, it's still making light. This would be, you saw an LED light go off and you said, okay, I better repair that. If we were selling electricity with this right now, what would happen is our indicators, our computers would tell us we're down in output. Right there is the windings. That's the windings in the motor. You see the windings? That's the windings of this motor. So to repair those, all you do is take them out. You got an empty hole, then you just put them right back in again. No problem. Then you put it back in, it starts generating electricity again. You can see the spark in that if you looked in close in that as you put it in. It starts making electricity again, no problem. It doesn't, you never, ever, ever have to shut this generator down to make electricity. Now this one right here has been tested. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this has been tested to put out 30 kilowatts of electricity. So this size generator, 35 inches square, puts out 30 kilowatts of electricity. Now, if we had this unit at your house, it would put out 30. And the motor in the back is whining because we just got a motor. It's a brand new motor, and it has a bearing loose. And so you can hear the bearing in there about to go out in it. We got to take it back and let them service it. Brand new ball door motor, bearing is loose. But normally it would run quiet. You wouldn't have the noise because the motor doesn't really make a lot of noise. When you see this one run here, you'll see that it doesn't make a whole lot of noise either. Okay, hey, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. So there is a very, 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 very flexible motor, generator. It is the most unique generator in the world, but it also makes electricity at any RPM, all the way up through the spectrum. That same unit, if we build it 8 feet square instead of 4 feet square, will produce 500 kilowatts of electricity. We've done all the testing, we've got all the data. We can get 30 kilowatts with this one. We can get 500 kilowatts with an 8-foot square instead of this 34-inch square. Now, hold that thought, because we're going to get into showing you a thing that we lovingly refer to as the power wagon. Something where we can put out a lot of firepower on a 45-foot trailer using this same exact technology, just in a bigger array. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is the driver motor that would run it. If I can get you guys to just come back over here for a minute, Mark, and get Rick and all the firepower here if he's available. If we could turn that back again, because I'd like to make another point here. I want you guys to see this from the side angle. Yeah, take your time there. Yeah, you just got one guy on this side. Hold off. We just got one guy in the back there, so one person in the back, so you got to move that one first. Where'd Ricky go? Have him come and go. Tell Ricky, hang around. It's only 2 hours. Yeah, I think he's getting tired. I wore him out over the last 2 days. Okay, I want to show you this because I want you to be able to compare here. That's almost got it there. Maybe one more shot. I want you to be able to get, now watch, Rick will come here exactly as you get that last shot done. You watch. Old Rick will be coming up. Here he is. Is he coming? Hold it. You guys are almost done. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay, that's good. That's it. Okay, don't need you, Rick. I do get my licks back in, Rick. Now, so what was the motor that just drove this generator, or that would drive this generator? This is a 40 horsepower motor. Now, this is a conventional motor. This is what conventional science would give you. This 40 horsepower is driving this big generator right here. 40 horses. Believe me, that's very, very heavy. Nobody's going to pick this thing up. Even Rick isn't going to pick that one up. This right here is the motor that got here an hour ago on a 2,000 mile ride. This is our 50 horsepower Hummingbird motor. So this is 50 horsepower, this is 40 horsepower. Just to give you an idea about the size. This one right here, believe me, I would never do this with the other one. $50 horsepower. And if you notice that the back plate on here is the same size of the whole motor here. So imagine this motor mounted up here on this, and that right there. That motor and that generator is a home unit that will produce 30 kilowatts of electricity. Okay, now this is the 50 horsepower here. This just got bounced 2,000 miles, and Ron just came in. There we go. Okay, there's this 50 horsepower motor right here, same size, that would be the driver, just as efficient as the one we just tested. That one was set up to test. Exactly the same technology. And so over there you were seeing this input to output over here that was incredible. You would have that technology connected to that generator. And so here you are, and you can vary it. Ron can show you right here that if you even wanted to do something exotic like put this onto a car, he can show you how effective this can be. That's the foot feed. Now he went for it.
But the nice part about it is, it behaves like a regular gasoline engine. That's what I tried to do, is to duplicate it so that it would behave so that the little old lady from Pasadena wouldn't have to go to school to learn how to drive an electric car. Well, it drives just like a regular gasoline car. Just step on it and go.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Across America with the most efficient generator that has ever been demonstrated for a crowd, and we're going to demonstrate it tonight. And we are going to prove to you now that we have the most efficient generator that has ever been built in the history of the world. Not only do we have the most efficient generator, we also have the best designed generator that's ever been designed. I'll tell you why. If you have a generator right now and you run the generator and the generator breaks, what do you do with it? Throw it away. That's it. You just throw it away. Because you can't do anything else. You can't repair it. Now, you could send it back to the factory. They could rewind it, but if it was worth a lot of money, you might. But if it's not worth a whole lot of money, then you just throw it away. Now, this right here, this generator is designed in a very unique manner. You notice all these modules. These are all separate, independent modules. Now, these modules are that very unique material in a U shape. On this side of the U, you have a coil. On this side of the U, you have another coil. This coil, as the magnets come around, makes electricity. This one makes electricity as they come around as well. So the core material is transferring the power from the windings. Now, each one of these modules produces 1 kilowatt of electricity. So this module, independent of this module and that module, this one makes 1 kilowatt hour. Now what happens then is, if you look here, while it's running, if there was a little LED light up here, that's the way it would be designed, there's an LED light up here, when this one breaks a core or a coil, the LED light goes out and it says this is no longer making the 1 kW. There will be a quick disconnect at your house. You pull that one out, pick up another one, stick it right back in, just like you change a fuse at your home, and now it wasn't making any electricity, and then you pop a brand new one in while it's running. You don't even shut it down, and now it's making a kilowatt of electricity again. Now, if you count these, we'll start right there with the writing as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 of these modules. If each one of them make a kilowatt of electricity, how much electricity will that make? 15 kilowatts. If you go around to the back of the machine, there are 15 more in the back. So it's like this. Cores and coils like this, facing one another, with the magnets going through producing the electricity. So you're making 15 on this side, 15 on that side. How many kilowatts will the whole thing make? 30 kilowatts. So we said we were going to bring to your house a 30 kW generator. This is what it would be like. Now, in that, if you're running along and the LED light goes on, then you're making 29 kilowatts because this one's out. When you pop it out, you're still making 29 kilowatts. When you pop another one in, you're now making 30 again. You tell me that there's a better designed generator anywhere in the world, or that there's a more serviceable or easy to repair generator that's ever been built in the history of generator manufacturing. Now, our Hummingbird motor is designed to set right up here. Tonight I will show you why we never put the Hummingbird in the same room with the Sundance. We don't want to give them too big a target. So, but the Hummingbird motor would set right here. That would drive this, and it's about that big. That's it. That would be it. Now this is made out of G10. The unit will come to you made out of G10. G10 is a material that will last for over 100 years. How long will this generator last? Over 100 years. Washington, D.C. at the end of our tour in 1996. This is a gold engraved invitation. We sent it to all the members of the Congress of the United States. A cordial invitation to please attend a ball that we were holding at the end of this tour. Here is it says RSVP, respond by February 26, 1996. It was announcing a show to happen on March the 5th, 1996. Now at this show that we set up for the Congress of the United States, we invited 1,400 government officials from the federal government. Very unique way for scamsters to act. We invited Janet Reno, we invited the president, we invited every senator, we invited every member of the House of Representatives, we invited all federal employees in Washington, D.C. to come to this show. To see what? To see that we have technologies and that we were developing further technologies that could completely eliminate the need for fossil fuel pollution in production of electrical energy. That's what we wanted to show our government. We wanted to make it clear to them that we were going to advance this no matter what happened. We showed them lots of technologies that would prove that we could win a war with the electric utilities companies were they to resist us in this. We said, good news, we're Americans, we love our country, we don't want to collapse the infrastructure of the United States. We're coming in a friendly way. Would you please deregulate the electric utilities, give anyone access to the electric utilities grid. Anybody that wants access, private producers, independent private producers, would have access to the utilities grid. We were contacted by the Energy Commission for the Congress, and they asked what we wanted, and I said, we want you to deregulate the electric utilities, and I gave them, to make a long story short, I gave them until July of 1996 to do that, or quote unquote, I do get a little brash, we were going to go do it for them. They never met with us in private session. They probably would not acknowledge that we had anything whatsoever to do with this, but I find the timing to be quite interesting. We gave them a 12-point plan for deregulating the electric utilities and gave them a deadline of July of 1996 to do it. And by the way, the deregulation that the Congress of the United States passed looks pretty familiar to me. And it happened on July 19th, 1996. Coincidence? Possibly coincidence. I took it as a sign that the government was willing to work with us, and I've been trying to work with them ever since. The second tour that we did, we went out and we built our units and tried to put some technologies together. Finally, in 1999, we felt very comfortable with the technologies that we have right now. A combination of a motor called the Hummingbird motor that utilizes the concept of magnetic energy. It's a permanent magnet motor. We took it on tour in 1999. We ran an ad, full-page ad, in USA Today newspaper announcing this tour in 1999. This is the paper, USA Today, September, I think 15th or 17th, September 17th. We went on tour. This is the September 17th paper. This is a full-page excerpt from that paper. Here's a blow-up of that same excerpt. So we ran a full-page ad in USA Today. And in this ad it said, tired of high electric bills, how about no electric bills? And we're talking about bringing a technology that will show them amazing things. Far more energy out of a electrical device than is going in the form of electricity. Now, we're not talking about more energy out of a mechanical device than is going in. We're talking about more energy out of an electrical device than the amount of electricity that's going in. But there is another source of energy besides electricity, and that would be the magnetic energy. Okay, now, so right here we're explaining that, and if you close up right here on this sentence, America's Declaration of Energy Independence, it says, bring your own test meters and measure the devices for yourself. So it's an invitation to all skeptics, to all engineers, to all scientists in America. And here are the places where we did shows. 47 locations in the United States. We did 47 shows in 32 states, nationwide. We gave all the scientists in the country a full-page ad inviting them to come bring their measurements, their instruments, and measure. Now we're going to show you excerpts of that videotape, and you're going to see in these excerpts of a show that we did on the road, and we did allow everybody to come on stage and make sure that our instruments were correct and make the measurements for themselves. Nationwide, thousands of people came up on stage, thousands of people measured this, and their measurements were always proved that our measurements were accurate. So we did this show. We're going to show you an excerpt from it. We showed a permanent magnet motor. You put 1 unit of energy in from the batteries, you get 5 units of mechanical energy out of it. Horsepower, drive, mechanical energy. 1 electrical from a set of batteries, 5 units of horsepower or energy coming out of it. And by the way, there has to be another source of energy, because you can't put 1 into a mechanical device and get 5 out. There has to be another source of energy. That other source of energy was the permanent magnets that we have in our motor. That was the source of energy. So far more energy was coming from the magnets in that motor than were coming from the electricity to just manipulate it in the proper manner. Now, so we did that. We proved the Hummingbird motor nationwide, gave all the scientists in this country an opportunity to prove us wrong. Then we went on another tour, yet another tour, and the next tour that we took was in the year 2001. That was just last year. So just last year we went on national tour again. This time we ran, once again, a full-page notice in Newsweek magazine. Newsweek magazine. Here's my mug standing next to a Sundance generator and a Hummingbird motor. We did indeed show all of this stuff. We proved that you can run an engine without any exhaust whatsoever, and lots of other technical things that we did indeed prove. but we demonstrated the Hummingbird, the Sundance generator. We did not bring the Hummingbird motor with us. So we will show you an excerpt from that show next. So first the Hummingbird show, showing that we did indeed get 5 units out of mechanical energy for every 1 unit of electrical energy. And obviously there was more than 5 going into that unit, but only 1 from the batteries. The other 5, or maybe 6, were coming from the magnets themselves, for an output of only 5. Okay, if you do the math, it says in that footage 4 out, but it was a quick, hasty illustration, but if you do the math, it was 5 out for one end. Now, so on this next film that we have, the footage is the Sundance generator. We put the Sundance generator in front of an audience in every state of the United States. We advertised here. We were coming to all 50 states, every single state. You could go to the internet to find the location in the state that you're from. It was a challenge to all technical people, once again in September. Challenge to all technical people to come out and prove us wrong. We demonstrated and measured a 100% efficient electric generator. That, by the way, has never been done before in the history of the country. Now, if you've got